Hello everybody, Rox here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing another kit breakdown. This time it's going to be about everyone's favorite non-existent video game cool guy, Ghost from Modern Warfare 2009. If you like what I do, hit the subscribe button, do all the usual YouTube stuff, and I will see you at the end of the video. So, if you're anything like me, growing up playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, you saw Ghost, you're like, man, that guy's the coolest. I'm gonna be just like him when I grow up. And then you went on to get an office job. You still can be him, but you can do it in the realms of cosplay and airsoft and flat range LARPing. And today I'm gonna show you two budgetary limitations kits on how you too can also do a Ghost loadout and some of the intricacies maybe of and decisions of what would make a loadout like this enjoyable and how to modernize it, because military trends have changed since they were popular in 2009. It's 2023 as of filming this video, so I'll tell you some of my my thought processes and what I changed when it came to making this kit and why I made those changes. So without any further rambling, we're going to jump right into it. Now, as you've seen on some of my other loadout videos, the first thing we always talk about is boots. This time, we're not going to talk about boots. For the purposes of this video, you pick the boots that are the most comfortable for you, or the shoes, or whatever, or whichever work. Footwear is one of those things that really comes down to user preference, and in the purpose of this, we're talking about something that you're going to be using to play, and you're going to be using to LARP in. So, pick the boots that like for you. Again, if you've seen other stuff, you know that I use the Under Armour Infill Ops mock toe boots. Those are the boots I love, and I will continue to use them. So use whichever boots you want. Next, we are going to be talking about pants. So when I was looking at the reference photos for this kit, there was one thing that I definitely noticed that I wanted to change. If you look at the pants that he's wearing in all of these photos, he's wearing straight cut or straight military style pants with a singular knee pad over the right knee. Now, if you're going to be doing the budget version of this build, I would say go for the 511 multicam combat pants and put any sort of Amazon knee pad or you want over top in black. So the 511s are good. They're going to last you a little longer than, say, something else, like something a little cheaper. Most of the time, if you're looking for tactical pants and you search on Amazon or anything like that, you're going to be getting pants that have built-in knee pads, and it doesn't really follow the spirit of this build, but it will use that to get into the next option that I'm talking about. So what I have is I have a pair of UF Pro Striker HTs. These have built-in knee pads, and I decided to go for those for this kit because the knee pads, the classic knee pad over the top look, and it doesn't really work the best. I've ran that before and I find they always slip, they always move around. It's really not the best. So if you're going for something a little more authentic and true to the original, I would say go for that. Or maybe a little more budget focused. But if you want something a little more modern, as I did, Striker, the UF Pros. You could also go with Cries, like the Cry G3 or G4. A little more expensive, but just as tactical. Next, we're going to be talking about uppers. So I have, again, two options here. The first one being the Amazon gray fleece jacket. This thing is super comfy, pretty cheap. It was, I think, like 50 bucks. Basically nothing in the grand scheme of things. It's still pretty warm. It's a little darker than I would like. I struggled to find something like this. We'll get into this in a little bit. In that price point, I found that they were almost all this kind of dark gray, and I think it works. It is the budget option. It'll still look pretty cool, as you can see on some of my photos. I've worn this before, but it's missing the lighter feel that you get in some of the more premium options. The other jacket that I'm wearing here, this is the Triple Odd Design Shagmaster in Yeti. This is definitely more expensive than the Amazon one. However, it will last a lot longer. It is extremely warm. I am sweating just sitting here. It's made out of Polar Tech fleece, super comfy, a little more on color than the previous one, which is the kind of lighter gray. But the jacket that he's wearing in all the photos that you see from Loose Ends, I don't think they make it. I don't think it's a real jacket. You have to buy it off like cosplay websites. But again, for the purposes of this video, we're talking about something that you would actually want to wear while looking the part. And that's what this is. The Shagmaster, although it is expensive, it is probably one of the nicest winter jackets you could possibly buy. You can use it for more than just this. And it will keep you warm and it will prevent you from freezing. So this is awesome. The Yeti Shagmaster from Triple Odd Design. Next up, we're going to be talking about your chest. So, in Modern Warfare 2009, Ghost does not wear a plate carrier. He's not wearing anything that appears to be armored at all. Maybe he is underneath his jacket, but on top, there's no armor, which makes it much easier because you can find a chest rig that suits you. I believe the one he's actually wearing is an LBT rig, so a little bit of an older design. I haven't been able to see one. I was looking around to see if it was something that was a little more feasible, but again, I wanted to change some stuff and make things a little more modern, and fit my playstyle a little bit more. So as you can see, we went with two different options. For the first one, for the budget style rig, this is an Amazon Haley Strategic clone. I think this one is made by One Tigris. This thing will hold 4 magazines, AR style magazines. It'll do its job. It'll fit over it. Not a bad rig. I've had it for a little while now. Definitely as a backup. My wife likes to use this when she goes out because it's light and small. But there, generic Amazon clone rig in multicam. Now going to the high budget option, we have the Tasmanian Tiger chest rig Mark II. This is the standard one, not the M4 style one. So this one will hold 4 magazines, larger style like 308 mags, or it'll hold 8 M4 style magazines, which is pretty cool. It also has these relatively big pockets on the side for storing all sorts of stuff. This rig can also be converted into a plate carrier if you want. Everything kind of unfolds from the middle. The storage options on this thing are just incredible. Like, I've had a few games now where I've used it and it has more space than I know what to do with. It is a little more in line with the one that you see him wearing in Loose Ends. So that's kind of why I liked it. It also, if you're looking for larger and other milsim applications, I know that this rig is used by a variety of different forces around the world, including Russia and the US and various other groups. So if you're looking to do an impression or go to Milsim West where you need kosher kit, the Tasmanian Tiger Mark II is one of the best choices you can make. I think it's an overall great piece of gear, and I've been extremely happy with it, even for the short time that I have owned it. Next piece of gear, we're going to be talking about the belt and the leg system. If you look at a lot of the reference photos from Loose Ends, you will see that his jacket actually covers his belt. The only thing you can see are 2 drop leg systems. One that is the holster, and 2 that is the leg panel. Going back to what I said before about earlier military thought processes, you saw this a lot more in like the mid 2000s with big drop leg systems that like went all the way down almost to your knees. Basically, it had tons of stuff on them. Systems like this aren't the most comfortable, nor are they the most practical. So when I was here thinking about what I wanted to do for my Ghost kit, I thought about ways that I could modernize it while still keeping with the aesthetic. What I have done here, and we'll talk about the budget and the expensive versions of this in a bit, what I've done here is I have used an HSGI battle belt with the H harness and an HSGI inner belt system. You could go onto Amazon and just buy a Condor battle belt. It will work totally fine. It would do its job. If you're looking for something a little cheaper, it might even come with the inner belt component of it, which is what we have here, for a lot less than what this would be. But I wanted something that I could use standalone and I wasn't afraid that it was going to fall apart. So I went with the HSGI components. What I also did is, instead of having a super low drop system, I put on this HSGI thigh panel. Now, this doesn't go down nearly as far as you think. I've seen pictures of guys with legs going all the way down, but this is much more reasonable. This sits just above your thigh, and it's way more comfortable. Use this to store tools. With the rigs that I showed you before, you don't really need to be putting mags in here, so this is going to be mostly for aesthetics, as well as a little bit more utility. On the holster side, again, same thing. You can see that this is just a thigh, Safariland thigh holster. It's compatible with any of the other Safariland quick change QLS systems. Really nice holster design. Again, it does not go down very far. It stays up nice and close compared to what you've seen in the past. So this is when I say what I mean. I'm making modern, usable concessions to make the kit something that you'd actually want to run, and something that you're not just going to be there just for looks. I have a 511 dump pouch here. This thing folds down into something very small, basically next to nothing. Absolutely love this thing. I was really surprised. I've got a Gerber knife here. This is actually only here because I needed it for an event that I went to. It will be replaced. I didn't really like this positioning, but it is what it is. I just needed it on there quickly. As well, I have an HSGI multi-purpose canteen pouch. I use this to store all sorts of stuff. I ran this belt when I went to the Winter Brutality competition. Not as Ghost, but it does have, this setup is something that I liked, and I ran it as it is in a real shooting competition, and I felt it performed very well for what it was. So now you're getting into the fun part, the mask. So right here, this is just a generic balaclava with a skull mask I got off Amazon. You don't need anything fancier than that. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could go out and get a an Arc'teryx one and like paint it yourself or something like that. But I mean, those are pretty extra. I don't think it's necessary for what you're doing unless you're actually going to be wearing this in the military or whatever it is you're doing. Probably not. Amazon mask, that's all you're going to need. When you're talking about the headset, there's two choices. You can go cheap or you can go expensive. I have Sorton MS Mil Pros CCs, I believe they're called. Really nice. You can run them as a headset just by themselves. You can also get something from, you can just go to your shooting store and you can get like walkers, and those will be cheap, those will be good. Don't get crappy hearing protection. It won't work. You'll hurt your ears if someone throws a grenade. It sounds like crap. It'll die. I just can never recommend getting those. They're just terrible. Go with real shooting headsets or military quality. Don't do anything halfway. So now we are going to be talking about the gun. What gun does Ghost use? We know that he uses a ACR in the mission Loose Ends, but really you can use whatever you want. You see him in a lot of different scenes using a lot of different things, and really what boils down to it is you use the gun that you want to use for playing airsoft or LARPing or whatever you want to do, and you can make it work. I think if you're going to be staying true to the cosplay, you want to look for a NATO style gun, so don't go out there running an AK or something like that, but I think any NATO style gun will do, and I think it'll work. Most of the ACRs that exist in airsoft aren't very good. You have to do a lot of work to them, so I would say honestly avoid that, but any NATO gun is good. An M4, SCAR, something like that from the time. If you're going with the chest rig that I talked about, the Tasbeam Tiger Mark II, you can fit SCAR H-mags really nicely in there, so it might be something to think about. But yeah, that's the gun. So, all in all, there it is. My quick guide on how to be Ghost from Modern Warfare 2009. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got some cool ideas, kind of got to see some cool gear, you know, talk about some stuff. If you have any comments or questions, shoot me down in the section below. Sorry if I sound a little funny now that this is on. But yeah, again, if you like what I do, please hit the sub button, do all the usual YouTube stuff, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.